episode of Nintendo Pow Block is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to find out more about Boss Rush Media's family of podcasts, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Media to see which tier is right for you. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Rush Media. I am your host, the enlightened and excited ADV, and joining me is the one, the only Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Derrick. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Ed. 365 days of Pow Block. Here we go.
Yes. Can you to do that as an expansion pass, to like see 365 episodes all in a row, man. One per day and everything. I will say that when I go for walks or I'm cleaning or just like sometimes playing the game, I'll go back to our old school Power Block and just hear our opinions and the stuff that we talked about. Just sometimes I definitely ask myself, what was I thinking? No.
I think that out every week.
I tried to stop you. But like, I think I get so wrapped up in the conversations and the things that was going on with Nintendo around that time. The past 6 years and stuff. It's just like definitely fascinating. Definitely like the Wii U era and everything, you know, kind of when we started Pow Block. And yeah, 365. We're close to 400.
Too much.
I think we'll probably hit 400 next year. That's amazing.
Yep. 35 weeks technically.
Yeah. So, but
everybody probably next summer, probably during like summer showcase or whatever.
Yes. I wonder will E3 be back by then. Around that time.
E3's dead. It's dead.
Oh no.
Move on. E3 will never live again.
I still go back and watch some past E3s and everything.
Never.
Just to see how when you see that first trailer to the game being actually released, to notice any differences and stuff like that. And everything. But everybody, we got a really good show for you guys. Definitely certain trailer got removed, and we're going to talk about that in family news because a lot of speculation happened. Also, everybody, at the time of this recording,
the speculation happened because of people read the headlines and not the article.
Yeah, true. But everybody, you know, Super Mario Brothers Wonder is out, Sonic Superstars is out, and Spider-Man 2 is out. Some like 3 big games this week. And
people are mad because people are spoiling Spider-Man, by the way.
So I haven't seen any spoilers or anything. I think a lot of my timeline, definitely on Twitter, I'm not going to call it X.
Nobody's calling it X.
Has been just like kind of the first few levels of Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And with Spider-Man, I see some costumes and stuff, which doesn't bother me, but a lot of people have just been shown that they got their copy and they're excited to play, which is really cool. Lamont got his copy, showed his copy of Sonic Superstars. I got mine. We both got it for Switch, but we just haven't started it yet and everything. So it's a really big day on October 20th this year. That 3 big games has released. And we still got some more big releases. Also, for those who are playing the Tekken 8 closed beta, I hope everybody is having fun with that also. It looks like it's getting a lot of good positive responses and everything. I'm so happy to hear about that. And as we get close to like the end of the year, like with November, December, we still got a lot of great games dropping. Definitely for Switch and stuff.
There's too
Um,
many. Too many. I can't keep
yes,
up.
Star Ocean I need to get. And definitely Super Mario Brothers RPG I need to get. I think there's some other games though that's dropping. Um,
Hogwarts Legacy, man, November.
we see the pictures.
They look fine. They look like a third-party Switch port. What do you want?
Yeah, they do. They do. It's not getting bombarded like that King Kong game.
Oh god, dude, that game looks bad.
I thought the Mortal Kombat one,
Mm.
the Mortal Kombat Switch early pictures look terrible. I did not expect for the King Kong game to be like, oh, someone called this a scam. I'm like,
Dude, that
wow.
that King Kong game makes Redfall look like game of the year. Put it that way.
Wow. Wow.
Although they did finally patch it, like the big patch that people have been waiting on Redfall. Have you tried it yet?
No, I got to reinstall it because I took it off my system and just like, I'll find my copy and throw it in later.
Literally, the second bullet point is it's like 60 frames a second was the first bullet point, and the second one says we fixed a bunch of bugs and texture pop-ins. I turn it on. The first thing I experience is texture pop-in, and the second thing I experience is getting stuck in a door trying to go out it to go outside. I'm
Welcome
like,
to Fall.
oh man, dude, I feel so bad. I mean, I feel bad for that team, but that game was rough. So
You think it was well? Some people, I don't know, anyone's kind of made it shady when Nintendo of America said that they're not gonna rush their teams to make their games. If there's time that needs to be taken, let it take it. I'm like, well, has always been like that, and everything. And this is not a slight to Microsoft or anybody, but I'm like, Microsoft give their teams all the time in the world to make their games better and stuff.
yeah,
So,
but that's because they're hoping that Game Pass will supplement all that, and then like
mhm,
Microsoft has enough cash on hand to like burn through it to develop games. Right there are definitely
mhm,
companies out there that can't do that, and
yes,
I mean, yeah, Bethesda is owned by Microsoft, right? And Redfall is a terrible example of this, but like I don't know, you think of the indie games or like, the studio that did Immortals of Avium. I forget what that studio is called, but they had to lay off like 48% of their staff just to stay open.
yeah.
Uh I still really want to play that game. It's on sale for $40 on Xbox. I kind of want to play it, but
Yeah, I do want to get it. I think, like I said, I'm just waiting for Black Friday for that one and
yeah,
everything. I
that's
think,
probably when I'll play it too, to be honest.
yeah, because I know when it gets close to, definitely when it gets close to like end of the year, but mostly like Black Friday,
hmm
I want to kind of get a lot of the games that I miss. Besides like the PlayStation 5 stuff, I think I'll start doing that next year. Um,
What you mean,
I
Spider-Man?
Yeah,
The
pretty
only
much Spider Man.
PlayStation 5 exclusive this year. What was the
Pretty
other
much.
exclusive that came out this year?
Uh,
The Horizon DLC came out. Was there any other PlayStation exclusive
PS
that came out?
PSVR
PC?
2.
That doesn't count. Nobody bought it.
I
Even
mean,
then, what?
that's where.
I know. I'm being a jerk. I know people are enjoying PSVR, and I know there was Horizon and the shooter that everybody loves. I forget what it's called. Jeez, I forget what it's called. Uh, it's like a sequel to the one that was on PSVR one. Can't remember.
Uh,
Oh my
uh
gosh,
yeah, I think. Yeah. Oh,
shooter on
Was Gran
PS.
Turismo 7 this year or last year?
It was last year. The VR version was
Oh,
this year.
The VR version was this year. Okay.
Firewall.
Uh,
That's what it was called. I knew it started with an F, but I just yikes. Okay, but yeah,
yeah. It's yeah. I'm sorry. Switch. Nintendo just had the Nintendo literally had first party wise another great year. And like you cannot deny that. I'm like, man, you guys put out like about I think 7 or 8 games out just at this time. That's just been like, what did you call hit or miss with Fire Emblem Engage? I'm like, it is polished, it is good. It's not Fire Emblem Three Houses or anything like that on that level, but it's still a good game. Metro Prime Remaster blew everybody away. Kirby, Advance Wars, um, what else dropped? Pikmin 4 dropped. Like, man, um of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 future that future DLC, which I still gotta go and finish that. Like that one is really good. Like Super Mario Brothers Wonder, we still got Super Mario RPG coming soon. Like, man, Nintendo really knocked it out this year. And then I don't think they need Tears of the Kingdom, of course. Um
Nintendo has a lot this year, though. I mean, they might not be the biggest games, right? But like,
mhm.
they had Fire Emblem, they had what, that Kirby game in February, Bayonetta. Um,
Yeah, Banner Origins, yeah.
they've
Which
had
is really
something like
good too.
they've had something like I think the only something came out in June, right? What came out in June? Because people were like, "Why is it coming out so close to Zelda?" But July was
Um,
Pikmin. You know, I don't. Nintendo's had a lot this year. I mean, they might not be like the super tent poles that you know, but I think they're kind of counting on Mario Wonder being that second tent pole game this year.
mhm.
I mean, I think they're positioning that way. I don't know if it is or not, but uh, I mean, it's going to sell bonkers. But like, I feel like a 2D game is hard to position as a tent pole these days for the public. But like, they have Mario RPG also coming. You
Mhm.
know, uh, and then next year, obviously, they have a ton so far. That I actually think that Princess Peach game looks really cool.
Yeah.
And obviously
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion is Luigi's Mansion and I'll get it. I actually reinstalled it because I think I want to play it, but I don't know when I'm going to play it because I have to still beat Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2 for book club in December. But maybe I'll just play it instead.
Cause I think what Alan Wake 2 is next Tuesday.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to Alan Wake. I have
Yeah,
zero
I had
interest
to
in Alan
find.
Wake.
I mean, yeah, I'm still gonna buy it and everything. Um, but yeah, so um,
There's too
but
many
yeah,
games right now. I heard Sonic was actually kind of bad, which
um,
which makes me sad, but not surprising considering who made it. Um,
so
so
it's been getting a lot of 8s and 9s. Nintendo Life, I think, gave it a 8 for the Switch version. I haven't really heard a lot of bad things about it. Like a lot of reviews have been like really positive
mm.
and stuff.
I people who've played it that I talked to have said it's not great. Like it's decent, but it's not great, and it's really
Hmm.
like there's a lot of difficulty spikes, and some of the bosses are like way more difficult than they should be, and like there's inconsistencies throughout the gameplay. So I don't know. I mean I'm excited for Sonic Superstars. I'll play it, but it's definitely
Hmm.
a sale game for me now. So
Yeah, I picked it up today when I picked up Mario Wonders, and the people who were at my tweet. I also got a my mom a copy of Wonder, which was always still playing and stuff. And she comes in the house and she's just like, Eddie, you left your game downstairs. I'm like, it's not for me. That game is for you. Oh wow, thank you. She's I told Lamont, he replied and stuff, or after I made my post, and I'm just like, my mom is a big fan of the Mario series. She is part of why I got into video games
Yeah.
and everything. So I'm like, when they first announced Wonder and just seeing it, I'm like, oh, this is a must have in this household. And so now, probably next week, from work when I get paid again, I'm gonna pick up the copy for my nephew and drop it off at his house, so he could play it too and everything.
Yeah, I still want to get it. Um, man, there's too many games that I mean, I wanted to play Assassin's Creed in it. I still haven't gotten that yet.
Dude, exactly. I still haven't got Mirage yet, and I
Yeah,
want to get it.
I think Mirage looks awesome. I would really like to play that game.
A lot of people have finished it,
Well, it's only
like a
15
hundred.
hours long, which is awesome. It
Yeah,
makes
they
me
were just like, they 100% completed. I'm like, oh, cool, good. So,
yeah.
but Corey, how about we get into some Snacktendo?
No.
And gonna start with you. What you been snacking on? You gonna say no?
Um I mean, nothing nothing really. I mean, last weekend was my wife and I's anniversary, so we got sushi for dinner and it was pretty good. Uh we got I mean, I'm not a huge sushi person. I like
Hmm.
specific kinds of sushi. Like I like the spicy shrimp stuff and like, you know, a good old California with cream cheese and shrimp tempura, like the typical white guy American sushi.
Yeah.
uh Man, dude. And then like the place by us sells California tempura where like they just make California rolls and then they deep fry
Mhm.
them.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we get cream cheese in them, and it, like, oozes out of the tempura, and it, like, makes it taste really good. Uh,
Oh,
tempura ruined my taste buds for other sushi, I think, because tempura is just so good because it's deep fried, and everything deep fried
mhm.
basically tastes good. So, uh, what else? Oh, that Saturday, I had 2 chicken quesadillas from Taco Bell, and it was really good. Dude, it was
Yes.
the first time I Taco Bell in, like, forever, and it was amazing. Oh, dude, their quesadillas are good. Cheesy Gordita Crunch, Doritos Locos Tacos, chips and cheese.
It's just
They
the
don't
cheese is good.
they don't call them nachos anymore. They call them chips and cheese. I'm like, "They're nachos. Just say nachos." Like, we
I,
know
I,
we know what you're doing here. We know you're not real food. Just say
you can't,
nachos.
cause you can't say like chips and cheese grande like Bel Grande. You
Yeah,
guys
you
already say like nacho Bel Grande. I'm like,
yeah,
we call these chips nachos, so just do it at
yeah.
that.
And the, what do they call them? The nacho fries or whatever are back.
Oh yeah,
Man,
yeah.
those
I
things
had
are
some
good.
of those. I had them last yesterday. No, Wednesday. I had them after work. I didn't
Yeah,
have the line with them though.
those are so good. I love
Mm.
french fries though, man. French fries are the best. I'm telling you, man, they're the
I
best.
I need some season. I think I prefer my fries now being seasoned.
Oh,
Um
yeah.
uh, uh, outside of not McDonald's, outside of Wendy's and Burger King, because I really do like their fries. Because those I eat definitely with ketchup. Something like Checkers or Rallies for some people. Arby's, uh,
Arby's, man.
Ki-
Dude, you know what's good at Arby's? Their cheese sticks, their mozzarella sticks. You know what I miss from Arby's, though? Their potato
what?
pancakes. They're potato cakes.
They took them out?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh wow. I didn't even know.
Yeah, man. I miss those things. They're so good.
Dude, but the mozzarella sticks, them big fat ones,
Mhm.
I will fight if I do not have my mozzarella sauce in there.
Oh, man, dude,
'Cause
no, dude, you get extra horsey sauce and put it on.
I see I can't do it. It's
I
gotta be
don't
the mozzarella stuff.
see, I don't like red sauce, like, I can't do it.
Like
What?
spaghetti, kind of like
Yeah, I
that kind of
can't.
red sauce.
Yeah, I can't do it, man.
It's I think it's because of, well, of course, the pizza and stuff, but that gooey cheese that's in it when it's hot. Because I don't know if you get the 6 sticks or the 4 sticks. I
Oh,
normally get. I have to go.
6?
I gotta go. I want to go with 6 sometimes, but I'd be like, oh, I know my stomach's not gonna like this, so I just be easy
Oh,
and
yeah,
do the 4.
I mean, to be fair, everything at Arby's, you basically should just eat it on the toilet because 'cause you're gonna have to go in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, now I will say Rallies slash Checkers and Burger King do got some that got their own mozzarella sticks are really good too. But like if you want some big fat gooey ones, Arby's got that. Arby's got that a lot.
Mhm.
Cheap, I should say. Not compared to like Fridays or Applebee's or Denny's. I don't even think Denny's do it.
Dude, I don't
Uh,
even remember the last time I ate at one of those places.
I ordered Denny's like last week, so
Of course you did.
Uh, because I was thinking of, I'm like, okay, who makes burgers and then have an egg on it?
Mm,
And Denny's is like the only one, but I didn't see that option or anything. So I was just like, well, I can't customize it. No, like I went to the customization for it and I didn't see anything. This is like, okay. I'm like, well. So might look for a burger that has an egg on it continues. Probably smash burgers or something. Probably have it.
oh gosh. Oh, I forgot to say one other thing.
Ah,
Last week, after the Browns game, I had, like, half a bag of pizza rolls, like, the big bag
oh wow.
for dinner.
Pizza rolls are good.
Oh
When
my gosh, dude, they're
they
so good.
do they have to, but you have to put them in the oven and bake them. Like
See,
microwaving them. See, dude,
I prefer
microwaving them.
I prefer the microwave because they're softer.
I,
I don't like the crunch. Like, my wife puts them in the oven, and
uh,
I prefer the microwave because they're softer. They're
it's
just softer.
to me they're soggy when they do microwave. Not knocking it, but I think I need that crispness. Like if you time it right and like you take it out the oven just right, then yes, I like it. But I'm just like if I microwave it, I'm like it's just too soggy. Now, don't get me wrong, I will still eat them. I don't do pizza rolls with dip or anything. I don't even know if people even do that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's just like I think the microwave throws it off, and I think with the oven it gets it. But I don't eat a lot of pizza rolls like that and stuff.
Oh, man. Dude, this weekend when the Browns are on, that's all I'm eating. They're playing uh, they're playing the Colts, so they should win, hopefully.
Oh,
We just beat
I forgot.
what?
I forgot to say congratulations. Oh, did I say correct? I know I liked your tweet when you put it out because that blew my mind. When I was at Six Flags, everybody Sunday, um,
Yeah.
and I was in the line kind of waiting for a ride, and I seen your tweet, Corey, and you said, yeah, the Browns beat the 49ers. And I was just like, wait, what? That threw
Yeah.
me for a loop. So I think I liked your tweet, but I didn't get to congratulate you because I thought we was recording Monday. Um so congratulations to you, to the Browns beating the 49ers. That's bonkers, dude. When I
Yeah.
heard that, when I read that, I'm like, oh wow. I'm like the 49ers is a really good team. So I'm surprised that the Browns got them. I know you probably were just like cheering like crazy.
Yeah, Dude, that game was crazy. Dude, oh my gosh, I yelled so loud that I think I scared my wife when he missed that field goal. Oh, it was so good. Dude, I was out of my mind. Now watch, we're gonna go in on Sunday and lose to the Colts because they're one of the worst teams in the league and have their backup quarterback playing. So Gardner Minshew.
Uh,
The Browns are in
you,
for some Minshew magic.
well, they can be no worse than the Bears.
Oh my god, dude, the Bears are just they're
I
it's weird
seen their
because
record.
well, it's not just that, man, but like it's not even that they're like the worst team in the league, which they might be. I haven't made that uh, decision yet, but
Yeah,
their season is just so embarrassing. Like, man, Justin Fields and the coaches are fighting. Allegedly, their defensive coordinator resigns because of some allegations, and it's just that dude. That team is so embarrassing. The ESPN said they're the most embarrassing team in football, and I'm like, you're probably not wrong.
compared
Man,
to to Dallas when they had
Dallas is
their
Dallas
situation.
is Dallas is 4-2, man.
I'm talking about in the past.
Oh,
I'm talking about
yeah. Well, look, Jerry Jones is an idiot, though, man. He he. I mean, I get it. He's ancient. He wants to win a Super Bowl before he dies next year, but
oop.
he's not really gonna die next year, but he's old enough to. uh, but where was I going with this? I was too busy making fun of Jerry Jones. Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. The Cowboys are always just that has to be like that situation in Dallas because like the Cowboys are like when you think of the NFL, you think of the Cowboys. Like that's
Mm,
if it's not the first team you think of, it's the top 3 teams you think of. Like they are the symbol of the NFL, and they've always been dude, they're so iconic. Like the one they only have one set of jerseys aside from like the retro jerseys, like the throwback jerseys, right? Like the blue silver helmet with the navy star in the middle, the white jersey with the royal blue number for some reason, even though their colors are navy blue. Like, I mean, the uniforms are so messed up, but they're iconic, you know? And they've had all these, especially in the 90s, man, because they had like Troy Aikman and Emmett Smith and Michael Irvin and uh Deion Sanders, and so iconic, man. And I don't know, man, Cowboys, they got crushed by the 49ers though. So funny.
well, that's awesome.
But yeah, man, the Browns, historic defense. Sorry guys. I know we're going to get to Nintendo, but I have to praise the Browns for once in my life. Their
Yes.
defense is historic, like literally historic. And for through 5 games, they've only allowed 1,002 yards, which is the least amount of yards any defense has given up through 5 games since
Mhm.
1971. And the game
Oh,
has like drastically changed since then. So like, you know, back then it was all like the 70s and 80s were all about the defense, right? And then,
yeah.
now it's all about like uh high energy, fast paced, passing offenses and 5 wide and empty backfield shotgun stuff. And Browns, man, they're so good. They said who said it? Who Rich Eisen, who's like a big sports commentator. Rich Eisen shows, dude, it's the best. It might be one of my favorite sports shows on the internet. I would say on TV, but it's not on TV. It's on the Roku channel, and he posts clips on YouTube. Man, the Roku channel, man. But he said that that whole commentary uh the week he was in London, and they had like a Andrew Siciliano. He's like another sports commentator from NBC Sports, but he's like he's a huge Browns fan, and like they were having this discussion about how this defense is might be the best defense to have ever played modern football, and I don't disagree. They're so good, man.
They got a good defense coordinator there, like coach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jim Schwartz is like the best defensive coordinator in the league. And then he left the league because he had some health issues and he's finally back and he's our defensive coordinator. We went from literally like 29th, 30th, and 31st in the league. Mind you, there's 32 teams
Hmm.
in all defensive ranked categories to first or second in all of them.
That's insane. That's
Yeah. Now, granted,
insane.
we added some players, right? I mean, we've swapped guys around. We've got new players, but like, I mean, he's made two linebackers who were like last year. Cleveland was arguing to cut them to
Hmm.
making them look like Hall of Fame caliber linebackers.
Probably a lot of corrections and
So
strategies.
yeah, I love watching the Browns. All right, we can stop talking about football now because
Throwing the
God
can,
God knows
can
after
you throw
Sunday I'm gonna talk enough about it.
can, can you throw in like in the Tecmo Bowl reference or something when you do the
Dude, it's so funny you say that because I actually watched someone play Tecmo Bowl the other day, and they were like,
uh
"Oh man, dude, it's so funny how you play defense in that game. You just have to guess which play they're picking, the offense is
hmm
picking, and if you get it right, you like dominate, and if you get it wrong, you're screwed,
yeah.
pretty much." Oh man,
So
and then gosh, Bo Jackson, man, Bo Jackson is like the best player in that game.
pretty much yes.
Also, I forgot that the original Tecmo Bowl did not have the real teams in it. They had all the real players, but not the real teams. It wasn't until
No.
Super Tecmo Bowl when the real teams were in.
Oh yeah, because I think they just had like the cities,
Yeah,
uh, and everything. Hut, 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 hut.
yeah.
And Tecmo
Ready,
Bowl and
down, hut, 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 hut. Doo, 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 doo.
why was the music even banging? Why?
Dude, that soundtrack is so good. I should say the one song is so good because that's all that's in the game, but it's so good.
That is true. It's true. Even the cheerleader, I'm like, oh goodness, that's an expression pass to talk about. We'll probably do one of this for expression pass. Um,
Yeah. Here's the thing,
but
like, Jeff Gersman, I know a lot of people probably know him for he's ex Giant Bomb, he does his own thing now. He's doing
mhm.
this series on YouTube where he plays he plays, like, an hour or so of every he's playing an hour of every NES game and is ranking them. He's putting them all on a list and is ranking them. Right now, Rygar is at number 1.
Oh no. Ooh, goodness, Rygar's not good, but I will let that be. Well, for me, everybody, what I've been snacking on, I just found out one of my friends, he like posted this video. Uh, uh, they're ding dongs and Twinkies combined. It's like a
Uh-huh.
crossover. So I just seen the video, so I had to find them so I could try them for myself. He's like, it's weird. So I'm just like, well, I'll find it and try this stuff. But I kind of like when I was at Great America, had some lo mein and orange chicken, which was really good. Got some popcorn from there. Speaking earlier, like we had Taco Bell. I got the nacho fries deluxe box and everything. I love their chalupas at Taco Bell. Their chicken was so good. Um I also
So good, man. Gosh,
um
Taco Bell, man. God, Taco Bell's so good.
I had
Why is
I
Taco Bell so good? Sorry, I didn't mean to keep
because
interrupting you, but
it helps cleanse the system. uh I
that's
had a
true.
$5 biggie bag from Wendy's, and I got crispy chicken. Um, just ran through the nuggets. I get regular nuggets at Wendy's. I don't get the spicy nuggets. The spicy nuggets are good. I still need to try the spicy nuggets from Chick-fil-A.
I've never had the
Um,
spicy nuggets from Chick-fil-A.
okay. Um,
Well, that's because I prefer the
but
sandwich.
yes. Um, so and that's pretty much it. I didn't get no sushi. I think I talked about the fried rice and pot stickers. I had that a while back. Um, Yeah, and I haven't had like really had any pizza or anything like that. So just nothing new at this time. I've been waiting to see if um I mean did have Jimmy John's that barbecue sauce wrap that I talked about, or sandwich I got again. So I had that. But I'm just trying to see if there's gonna be any new kind of sandwiches from different places. And I know people, some stores are getting eggnog out, but I haven't seen it yet. And I know a lot of people are not big on eggnog and stuff. I really haven't I really haven't had spiked eggnog, which I didn't know that you could spike it. That sounds kind of disgusting in a sense. um
I thought that's all it was. I thought it was just some sort of alcoholic drink. Is it not
for some,
normally?
it's no.
Wow.
So normally with some of the eggnog, because they normally just bring it out during the Christmas time, like close to the holidays, after the pumpkin spice and all of that stuff is out. um it's really like Ding's milk. They would have like a little jug of it, like in kind of like in the red bottle and stuff. And then that's when you start seeing everybody else just bringing out their own eggnog. So it's mostly just the I should say version of the eggnog. I haven't seen. I think you have to add your own alcohol to spike it,
Mm.
um, and everything. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've pretty much had. I haven't had no new chips. Haven't been able to go to the grocery store that I normally go to. But I'll probably do that because I go on vacation in one more week. So I'll probably try it there and stuff. So, but that's pretty much all I've been snacking on.
Hmm.
So, but Corey,
Well,
it's time to talk about what we've been playing and playing with power.
that's what we
And
do.
I'm going to go first because
Nope.
I finished Borderlands
What?
one.
What?
Yeah, I beat. So to give everybody a heads up, I beat Borderlands 1 and 2 on PS3. But I just kind of picked it up on Switch and just got hooked on to it again. So it took me about 3 or 4 days to get through it and stuff.
How
I
long
was
did it
doing
take you to beat it? Like
um
time-wise, not like days, because you just said that.
time wise, probably about 20 hours.
Hmm.
Um because it's challenging at some parts, because if you try to go from mission to mission and you don't have the right guns or at the right level, it's going to take a while to get through. And most of the time, like if you die, they get their full life back and stuff. So some fights take a while, but um the stronger you get, the more weapons you get. And like if you do a lot of side stuff and that helps you go up levels, you'll be able to get through the game easier and stuff. So by the time you get to the end, if you have the right weapons and stuff, you can pretty much get through a lot of stuff with it. It really is designed for like co-op, but I completely did single player. I know someone from Twitter who wants to join me in the 2 player campaign. So hopefully we hook up and we link up and go through the campaign and stuff. Sorry for the second game. Um and then I started Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And I'm not gonna go into detail about that game. It looks really beautiful. Digital Foundry, they just did release their tech review and everything. But we're gonna talk about it more because special guest Grayson Morales is gonna be joining us within 2 weeks to talk about Mario Brothers Wonder and Sonic and stuff. And a little bit of Spider Man too. Uh,
Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Sorry.
Well, I know the earlier version. That's why I'm cracking up. uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it for right now of what I've been playing. I still need to start Bending Chaos. Sorry, Shane. I will get to it and discuss it with you. With it. I
I will not
also
be.
also eh,
Sorry.
also I think I need to buy some more rechargeable batteries for my Xbox. Because they just gone through quick, and I'm like, I haven't even played my Xbox in a while for some unknown reason. Like, I mean, I have been playing it. Definitely Vampire Survivor. The game's back to it. I did buy the DLC also for $2. Um, so I
Man,
need to
dude,
start.
that game could have sold for what was it originally? $5?
Yeah.
Man, dude, that game could have probably been like $10 and people still would have gone. I mean, that game could have been like a $15 or $20 indie game and people would have
Yeah.
gotten nuts over it. $5, man, and $2 for DLC. It's ridiculous.
hmm
So good too.
And it's the Hades thing. Like, it was out in early access on PC, and then it came to Xbox first console wise, like with the full version. And they just built on it with the DLC. So
I don't
um
even think it's on PlayStation yet.
it's
It
not
might be, but I
it,
don't know.
not that I know of. Only ones I know is PC, Xbox, and Switch at this time. So um but yeah, that's pretty much it. And like I said, in 2 weeks, we'll have Grayson on, and we'll be talking about those three games, um, and
Nice.
everything.
Nice.
Corey, what have you been playing with Power?
Um, Not very much. I finished Spider-Man Remastered because I did. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Um, but let's see. Hold on. Where am I? There it is. Okay. Yeah, and it was good. I think it probably could have been better, but also like maybe I'm just not. First of all, I'm not that into Spider-Man. I think he's cool, right? And my son really loves him. My son like watched me play it for a couple hours and he was like obsessed with it. Um but like I just there's something with Spider-Man that's just not connecting with me. I'm saying the character also, not just this game, which the game was fun. There's a lot of Arkham Asylum in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Um especially the combat, right? Like the combat is ripped straight from Arkham. Uh, I mean, they added like the web stuff, right? And but like the gadgets and everything, it was so Arkham. Uh, Swinging feels really good. Um, I thought the story drug out really long, and then the third act, like the second half of the third act, like was really scrunched into like a 3-hour window. I'm like, why couldn't we just like do this over the three acts? Why did this have to all be scrunched into the last part of the game? Like, there's I mean, I guess minor spoilers for Spider-Man, but like so the first villain you kind of fight is Shocker, right? And you fight him the first time and then he like, he's gone and then you fight him again, but as you're like, you know, as you fight him, you learn about why he's doing the things he's doing. And that was a really cool thing. Like they actually explored this character a little bit deeper,
Mm-hmm.
um, than just like, oh, he's this cartoon villain that like, shocks people. Uh, he was in debt. He had a lot of, financial issues, and he was promised that these debts would be repaid if he did these things for, the mystery person. And that's why he was doing it. And that was enough backstory to be like, oh, this is kind of cool. You almost kind of feel bad for him, right? Like the way that like Spider-Man 3, the movie, right, did with Sandman a little bit, where like
Yeah.
you understood why he was doing the things he was doing because his daughter was really sick with some sort of illness, nameless illness, but really doing it was really in bad shape. And like, I wish they would have done that with the other characters, because the other characters, like, you fight them and you think they're dumb, but like when you're exploring, there's this facility that you explore. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't played it, but you listen to tape recorders and look at their dossiers to read about their backstory, right? Like, Rhino is stuck in his suit and he can't get out, and he's been promised that he can be removed from the suit if he does these things for mystery bad guy, right? And Vulture has spinal cancer, but you don't know that when you're fighting them. You only learn it if you take the time to listen to the tape recorder and read the dossier on him in this facility. And it's like, why couldn't we have explored that and learned more about these bad guys? And because there's one of the best things in stories is like a sympathetic bad guy at some point, right? Like, not it doesn't that doesn't mean every movie or TV show or game needs a quote unquote sympathetic bad guy, but like
Hmm.
something like this Spider-Man game, like the story that they're telling, and like Martin Lee, who's Mr. Negative in this game, like, has a really interesting backstory, and you kind of piece it together during the run of the game, but then like the third act, it really opens up and you see, like, why he's like this and what happened, and why he wants his revenge on one of the other characters. And it's like, that's really interesting. But there's four other characters besides Otto, right? Who's Peter's mentor in this version of Spider-Man throughout the game, and it's like, you know, that story's interesting too. Like, Otto is like, you kind of realize like throughout the game, there's something about him that, like, is really sad, and the reason why he's doing the things that he's doing, both in the throughout the game, which is like good guy Otto, and then like, obviously, you know everybody knows Otto Octavius, so you can kind of piece it together there, I guess, if you want. But like, you understand why he's doing the things he's doing, and you
Right.
you almost feel bad for the guy, right? Like, you feel bad for him. And so, I don't know, there's just the other characters in the game, they just kind of throw in there to have boss battles, and it's like, I really wish you would have taken the time to use these boss fights to learn about these characters, or save them for a different game, because that would be more interesting to
Is the
flesh
re-
out these characters. Now, I
is
get it.
the re-
One guy's in like a suit that looks like a scorpion, right? That's so stupid, right? But like, it's interesting when you learn about what he's doing and why he's in the suit. Like, it's really interesting. Or like Vulture, right? Like, Vulture has spinal cancer and he's in this suit because he was promised like a cure or an extension of life, or something to that effect. And it's like, that's so interesting. Why are we leaving it to some, 3 paragraph text? Uh,
well, what I was going to ask is like, is the reveal of the mystery character, is that a brand new addition to the Spider-Man universe,
no, it's
or
just a different take on the character.
on that
Um,
character?
yeah,
Because
I
I
know a
know in
lot of
the trailer. Oh, I know in the trailer when they were showing that E3, I think it was the helicopter part
yeah,
or something. He was just like, "It's you," and then they cut it off and they don't
mhm,
reveal who it is
yeah,
or anything.
yeah. Well, like, the I mean, if you watch the other trailers for Spider-Man 1, they like literally ruin the ending of the game in the trailer. So I mean, if you've watched it, I guess but like, I don't know, man.
I
On the positive side, though, just to kind of wrap this up, because I know Spider-Man's not exactly on Switch. It's the gameplay is super fun. The graphics are super polished. I think
mm,
mechanically, it feels a lot like I said earlier, Arkham mixed with, like, older Spider-Man games, like the swinging, right? But it's all just super polished and super well done. The story could have been a little bit stronger, throughout the game. Uh, but overall, I mean, I would probably give it an 8 if I was to put a score on it, right? Um,
I think I'm halfway through that game, PS4, and I think I just need to just mainline it, like skip all the side stuff, and just
yeah,
mainline it.
I pretty much just mainlined it. I did some extra stuff, like I found all the backpacks and I found all the police stations to open up the map, and I um am gonna do like the landmarks, take pictures of the landmarks, but
Mhm.
like it's just because like I'm doing that a little bit now, just because I'm playing the DLC. But I need to mainline the DLC as well. So that's
I
what.
need to buy Miles Morales, even though I find him as an annoying character. Oh goodness.
Um, so I'm playing the DLC right now. I don't really have a verdict on it. I hear it's not the best. So that's what I'm doing now. And then I played a little bit more Super Mario 3D World, uh, and I don't really have much to say about it except these levels are really hard, especially with the Joy Cons. I need to play it on the TV. Um, so what I played something else too this week. What else did I play? Gosh, Ed, why do I always forget things? I got it. I played Xbox. No, it wasn't Forza. Um,
I still need to buy Motorsport
uh,
for it.
I feel like I played something. I played a tiny bit of Destiny, but not much. So but that's it for me.
All right. Well, everybody, it's time for Femi News. Corey, take it away.
All right. Oh, this is the wrong doc. All right. So, family news. So, the first story is an interesting story because, well, it's it's interesting, but not in the way you really want it to be.
Hmm.
The original Switch reveal trailer, has quietly been removed from Nintendo's YouTube channel. Uh, it's not what you think. To me, like when I first read the headline, I was like, "Oh, well, maybe they're preparing to, do a teaser for the next console at some point in the next month or two," which is still very possible, right? Uh, but it was removed because um, there is an issue with the band that released the song in this trailer. They're called White Denim, and the song is like really fun and obviously like really fits the kind of the vibe that Nintendo's trying to go for, right? But White Denim
Yeah.
is in some legal trouble. I couldn't find what kind of legal trouble. I didn't really dig that deep though, because honestly, I really don't care because that's really the gist of the story is that they're in legal trouble, and I'm thinking Nintendo just doesn't want to be associated with them at this time. Um, their license doesn't look like it ran out, according to some of the Reddit threads I was looking in earlier. It's just literally, I think the band is in legal trouble and they just don't want to be associated.
It's so it seems that they want to know if that song was the original songs of theirs or was that a song with somebody else's
Mm,
and they just took it for them for themselves.
yeah. So, uh, but yeah, that's kind of sad. That trailer was so iconic and so fun, and It's still up other places. Like as of this morning, GameStop, IGN, and Game Informer all had the reveal trailer on their
Hmm.
YouTube channels. So maybe not Game Informer. I think that was just a kind of like a watch along type thing. But like the trailer is still out there if you want to watch it on other places. It's just not on Nintendo's thing anymore. So, but how do you feel, Ed? I mean, that trailer so iconic, man. Like the not the one with Rooftop Karen, the original tease from that October, where they showed the guy, lifting the Switch out of the dock, and that was kind of like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
Um. I. 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 I think after seeing it and watching it and everything, like I don't mind that it got taken off and stuff. Because it's just like we got the idea of the Switch, and it's been like a long time since that trailer's been out and everything. So it didn't really affect me. I think when we definitely was talking and stuff, um, I didn't pay no attention to it, so I read the story, or and then I when I asked you, I'm just like, I wonder if they're planning to do something different. It's just like, well, the band is kind of a nigga dribble, and I was like, wait, what? I'm like, but this thing kind of and the League of Trouble was the fact that I'm like, but this thing been out for the last 6 years. I'm like, why would someone try to do anything about it now or everything?
yeah.
So, but I hope hopefully everything get worked out. Nintendo probably would keep it off because it's like we the system's out. We really don't need this
Hmm.
and everything. So
Yeah. Still sad though. I mean, that was a big time for us too, right? I mean,
yeah,
we've been covering the Wii U for a long time, and obviously DS and 3DS and a little bit of the Wii on the show. Not so much the Wii, I guess, because it was about halfway through the Wii U's life cycle, maybe, but like maybe a little bit, you know. But my point is that was like the really first big thing that we got to cover doing the show, and
yeah.
it was it was awesome getting ready to do that. It was really cool to the point where like I think we were messaging each other while I was on my honeymoon when they revealed that.
We were, yeah,
Yeah.
we were, and then because while messaging, I think we was rewatching it and kind of like taking notes and sitting like like talking and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. So, hopefully they get that resolved or, something because that I mean that's kind of an important piece of Nintendo history really and
Hmm.
cuz we didn't really know what it was yet. I mean, we didn't know how popular it was going to be, right? I mean, when you go through the Wii U, right? And it's just like, oh man, Nintendo's new console, it better be better than the Wii U and obviously it, you know, did what it or it's doing what it's doing. Um But I don't know, maybe this will lead to some sort of reveal of the next console too, you know? I mean, just because it's one thing doesn't mean it can't lead to another. But
Right.
that's just hoping because we're Nintendo fans doesn't mean it's really happening. Make it happen, Nintendo, make it happen. Do it.
Just don't do it
uh,
overnight where we sleep and then we both wake up and we be
dude.
like, I'd be like, Corey, can you just spend just 20 minutes, 15 minutes getting, and then we just hop on Zencaster, do a quick like reaction talk, and then put it out.
Yeah. All right, our next story, Ed. We've been waiting a long time. Well, I have. I don't know about you, but I have. Uh, but they have finally started marketing Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch. Finally, Nintendo revealed they have the title screen and what you get for pre-ordering, right? But if you go to their website or the eShop or Nintendo Life or whatever other place you get your news or whatever, like they have screenshots finally. And it looks like a Switch port of a third-party game at this point. It's
Hmm.
I'm kind of excited to see. I'm gonna get it just because I want to see how it runs on Switch and what it looks like. Uh,
Yes.
because I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think Hogwarts Legacy might be my game of the year.
Yeah, a lot of like like we talked about last time, like a lot of people feel that way too.
Yeah,
It's even though with all the um
fake
controversy
controversy.
with that game. I wouldn't say fake controversy. I would say it's a well intended controversy about this game.
I don't think
People
so
who
personally, but
people who did people who did play it and everything, they said
all
that
28
it
million of you
was
out there, good job. Way to purchase.
they said they really enjoyed the game. They I think people knew um that they were going to be buying this game, and they knew that the money was going to be going to that person. That's just how business is with it. But they really wanted to support that developer, and they didn't want that developer to like kind of go out of business or lose it because of what decision that was made for them to develop the game is develop the game and stuff. So
Yeah. I
they
mean,
worked hard and they put out a great product. So I mean, I can't fault them for that.
yeah. The so a little history on Avalanche, right? I mean, they Disney owned them for a long time, and they did a lot of licensed things. And then their big kind of breakout game was Disney Infinity, right? They were the primary developer on
Yes.
Disney Infinity, and then Disney decided to pull the plug on any kind of internal development, which included Avalanche, and uh, they shut Disney Infinity down, and then Avalanche right after, um, which kind of sucks because Disney Infinity was kind of cool. I really enjoyed collecting those figures. It's the only collection I have, I think, that's complete. um, of released figures. Now, there's been some unreleased figures that have made it out into the wild. Peter Pan is like the main example. Uh, Dude, Peter Pan figures on eBay are like $300 and $400. Um,
Wow.
well, I mean, they were already shipped, you know, and they were in the process of doing another Marvel expansion and obviously more Star Wars expansions. But like, they there's figures out there that have never been released. I'm not paying for them, but I think it would be cool to have a Peter Pan though. But you know, I really liked Disney Infinity a lot, and what they were doing with Disney Infinity Forever, which was the fourth game, but it was intended to be like a an ongoing kind of game as a service, I guess if you want to call it that. Uh, that was the game that was going to be their platform, I guess you would say, because like if they released 3 games in 3 years. 1.0 was Disney and Pixar, 2.0 was Marvel, the introduction of Marvel, and
Hmm.
then 3.0 was the introduction of Star Wars. And
Yeah.
when the Avalanche shut down, Warner Brothers went to the studio heads and said, "Hey, if you want to keep your studio open, we will purchase you." And the funny thing is the next license game they made was Cars 3, owned by Disney. Uh, but this was their follow up to Cars 3. Cars 3, it's an okay racing game, right? But you would never expect something like Hogwarts Legacy to come out of someone who made Disney Infinity and Cars 3, right? And I'm just really happy for this studio because they've been through it, and
Didn't they
they
make Mad Max?
that was the other Avalanche. There's 2 Avalanche studios, and
Okay.
one is owned by Warner Brothers and one is not. Uh, so
Okay.
I don't I don't understand why they have the same name, but they do. But they're 2 separate studios, 2 separate entities that have nothing to do with each other. But yes,
Gotcha.
Avalanche did make Mad Max. Also,
Terrible
also a
game.
good game. I liked it. Uh, where was I? Oh, but yeah, I mean, Avalanche has been through it, and I'm glad that they finally have like a massive success story.
Hmm.
And again, like the wizarding world is a big part of people's lives. People love Harry Potter and that world and that lore and that universe. And I mean, HBO just greenlit 8 seasons of a Harry Potter show.
Yeah.
Eh, 8 seasons. Every season's going to be one year of the school year or whatever. And I know some people are mad, but like, dude, those movies are 20 and 25 years old at this point. Like, I
But
think the first movie came out in 2002 or something.
but I think it's more of the creator,
She has
and
nothing to do with this stuff anymore. I don't care what people think of her or not, but, like, she had no influence on this game, the
mhm.
HBO show that's coming, you know, and also, like, it seems like America is the only country that has a problem with her for something that
Well,
she may or may not have said, which I still don't
it's
know what
uh,
she
uh,
said. I've never been able to find it, but
well, she just released some new stuff. I'll have to find it and send it to you and everything. So, um, that is kind of just like um connected to a certain community. Um, and I'll leave it at that. Um,
yeah, I
so,
really don't feel like
um,
having this discussion again because we had it, like, 4 times over the summer, and I'm just kinda like, "I don't care. The game is good. It's fun. You should play it. If you are a fan of video games, you should play this game. I don't
well,
care what platform you play it on."
that's what I said. Yeah, I think people who did play the game really enjoyed it, and that's why I will leave it at that. This Nintendo Switch version, it looks like a Switch version. Um, it's interested to see how it runs. Um, I kind of feel like after the Xbox and PlayStation versions came out, I think that's when they started doing the development or returning to the development of the Switch version. Um, I it's one of those things where they're gonna put their focus at more importantly because wherever they put their focus at first, that's where they believe that the money is at.
Mhm,
Um, and then they can focus on doing something else or not doing something else, but finishing and start working on another system so that um they could fulfill their promise or fulfill their contract saying that hey, we even brought it out to this system, even though it took us longer and stuff. So uh
yeah.
yeah.
Good for Avalanche, though, and good for them for keeping their promise of putting it on Switch, right? And
Hmm.
delaying it to make sure it's right. I mean, haven't played it yet, obviously, but, like, I mean, they delayed the game 10 months to make sure it was correct, and, like,
I
it's
see this. I don't. Yeah, we had
I'm
this discussion before, so
yeah,
I won't.
I know, but I don't like your argument, so we're not gonna have it. Uh, but, I mean, it's not like there's gonna be any price, difference either because the Xbox version is still $70,
See the
so
70. Yeah,
I I wanna see how it runs. I wanna see some gameplay, I wanna see a trailer, but I will probably get it for Switch because I really loved that game. I loved it.
it's. I think it's going to have the kind of like the Witcher 3 effect that people are going to be curious on how it does, and so they'll pick it up there.
Yeah. Oh, man, The
So
Witcher was also very good on Switch.
yeah.
The
So
Witcher. The Witcher.
the voice of Garrett, Gerard, and the Ben something who does Clive for Final Fantasy 16
Yeah.
uh on his web on his because he's been doing a lot of voice acting and stuff. Him and a guy who voice acts Gerald in the game, they have uh they do like a meetup kind of video kind of thing. Um and so they're playing out a scene with as their characters, and they're trying to take a contract of destroying the spider and everything. And so and it's funny and everything. So if people want to go see that, it's on Twitter and everything.
Mhm.
Starfield.
Starfield. Nice.
Yeah, because he Ben Starr, I think that's his name. Uh, he was trying to make fun of Microsoft a little bit by wanting to buy Nintendo and everything.
Mm.
Just a little bit of Kirby.
Fuck Kirby.
So,
Kirby sucks.
Corey, language.
Sorry, I forgot we were on doing Pow Block.
Yes.
Uh, sorry everybody. It's PG-13 episode. You get the one. I'm tired, man. I'm sorry. Where were we? Oh, right.
So the
Okay.
next story.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Okay. So we talked a little bit about this on Boss Rush, but Analog, the premier, I would say, the premier retro boxes. You know, they just released the Analog Pocket that plays Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games. They've done an NES and a Super Nintendo box that will play your cartridges and use your controllers. Uh, they are putting out the Analog 3D, which is a 4K Nintendo 64 box that plays original carts and uses original controllers. And you know, Stephanie said some interesting things about their founder or creator or owner that not maybe not that appropriate for the show. It was really
Some
funny.
some questionable content
It was
of
really funny.
words. Uh,
Just go listen to Boss Rush podcast.
yes.
Let's see. Yeah, so I think this is really interesting and also like wondering if this is a decent decision by them. Although it's Nintendo 64, everybody loves Nintendo 64. It's gonna do, you know, amazing things. But how do you feel about this, Ed?
Um, to be honest, I really don't care.
I know that's how I felt too. Uh,
Like,
all the
I
games
understand.
all the N64 games I want to play are on Switch Online or in Rare Replay.
Right,
Most of
and
them.
I'm just like, I mean, yes, it's gonna be a 4K, but I'm just like, as much as I love the N64 and I love a lot of their games, it's not their biggest system for me, and I think it's because GameCube really showcased what Nintendo can do and everything. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. N64 is historic in what they did with 3D.
Mhm.
That's something no one cannot deny. But then when you got to GameCube and you got like you weren't even thinking about 60 frames per second for games and stuff. It was just some like frame rate and everything. You wasn't thinking about that. You were just thinking about how great that game was. So with this N64 one, yeah, it's cool. Okay, so you get to play your old games in 4K. That doesn't stop games from Quest 64 being any better. That doesn't
Sure it
stop.
does.
That doesn't stop like Pilot Wings being a hit or anything. Even though Pilot Wings as a launch game was weird. Um,
Two Pilot
so
Wings
I
is really bad.
so I think it's just like I understand what they're going for. Um, why they're doing a lot of Nintendo stuff, I have no idea. If I was still, I would try to. I would rather them focus on Sega stuff if they
Well,
could.
I think they have a Dreamcast or not a Dreamcast, a Sega Genesis one.
But do a Sega Saturn one.
Dude, that they haven't figured out emulation on that, so they can't
Mhm.
they because they use like a mix of like the original technology mixed with like I would say emulator technology. It's not an emulator, but it is a technology that helps, you know, emulate the insides of the console that they're producing.
Mhm.
And Sega Saturn emulation for decades has been, you know, touted as like the hardest system to ever emulate. And you know, there are the people who are like developing the Mister, which is like a it's like a emulation board, a stack of boards that, you know, like one board is for NES. You know, you basically get these boards and then you play use those emulators. The thing is like they have a Saturn emulator that's in quote unquote beta, and like
Hmm.
you and if you plug it into your computer, you can update it, right? And it's like one of those types of things. And like with very rare exception, like Saturn games are still very poorly emulated. And so that would be like I would say once the Saturn can be emulated properly,
Yeah.
they will have a Sega Saturn.
Well, then do 3Duo and Jaguar. Like,
Nobody
do some
dude,
systems that,
nobody wants those.
or do TurboGrafx. That needs to be emulated.
Yeah,
Or TurboGrafx CD.
I think out of the quote unquote retro consoles that don't have one, I think the TurboGrafx would be the next move, but you know,
Yeah.
or a DS or a 3DS, that'd be also interesting to see. I mean, the DS is 20 something years old. Can you believe that, man? The DS is like 20 years old. What year did it come out? 20 or 2003, 2004, 2003, 2002?
Uh,
DS release date November 21st, 2004. Dude, the DS is going to be 20 years old next year. Gross, dude.
what?
The DS is going to be 20 years old next year.
Oh,
How old do you feel?
being 43 and buying that thing at 20. Gotta remind people the original fatty fat DS,
Oh
not the
yeah.
sleek one, not the DS Lite, the fatty fat one. Because I brought my blue DS and I got the Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow with that one.
Mm, mm.
And I
You
was
can
working. I was in my third year at J.C. Penney when
mm.
that system came out.
You can finally you can you can finally play the Game Boy Advance Castlevanias with a backlight.
Exactly.
If you didn't upgrade from the from the Advance to the SP, but I don't know. I still have both my Advances though. Dude, Game Boy Advance. Can we talk about how great the Game Boy Advance is for like 5 seconds?
Oh yeah,
So good. There we go.
really good.
That's my comment. Um Where were we? Oh, yeah, Analog 3D. I mean, for people who love the Nintendo 64, it's probably a really good investment. But I don't I personally don't care. I think that if I was gonna get any of these analog systems, it would have been the Analog Pocket. Um, that first run, that black one was so sexy, man. That black one was so good, but they sold
Mm,
out, so I didn't get it.
yeah,
Rip.
I'm good.
Yeah. So where were we? Okay, next story. So everybody knows that Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard King. The purchase finally went through on Friday the 13th of October, and Phil Spencer came out and said that he wants console parity across versions of the game, and that he wants when it was what was the quote? It was like when Call of Duty comes to Nintendo consoles in the future, he says he wants them to feel like part of the community, and I think that's a really strong statement because obviously Call of Duty it has never been on the Switch, right? Um, although many of Activision's other games have been in Blizzard,
Mm,
but Call of Duty is like the one that never made it over. Uh, and I honestly think he's talking about the next generation Nintendo console. I don't
yeah.
think Call of Duty's coming to the Switch. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Uh, I do think it's coming to the next gen console. Uh, but I really and then Doug Bowser put out a statement yesterday, maybe 2 days ago,
I think yeah. I think yesterday.
where he said he feels like Microsoft are really strong partners for them, and he looks forward to working with them in the future on future, you know, the general PR statement, but like it just kind of reiterates how some of the decisions Microsoft is making with some of these games and these companies, right? Is
Mm,
you know, I know we haven't had any fruits from this labor, but it's really starting to feel like it's all coming together, right? I think 2024 is going to be a huge year for Microsoft. I mean, you look at Q1 alone, right? It's going to be like Hellblade and uh, what's the first game that's coming out? Towerborn. Um,
Yeah.
there's just a lot coming out from them, and especially with like Call of Duty and the Microsoft like list of games that they now own, right? Hexen and uh, Overwatch and Doom, or not. Well, I guess they do own Doom, but Activision games like
Mhm.
Crash and Spyro, and you see those. I bet you see those new games come over to Switch. Obvious. I think those are obvious choices. I think it's smart. I think it's. I like reading about this. How do you feel, Ed? I feel like I'm rambling. Sorry, everybody. I do that when I'm tired.
Um, um, we talked about Microsoft and Nintendo having a good relationship. We kind of heard during the FTC case,
Hmm.
um, where um, what's his name from Activision, the head boss,
Oh, Bobby Kotick.
uh, Bobby Kotick, how he said like we should have put Call of Duty on Nintendo, like we should have supported them better and all of that stuff. Which that was just a bunch of gooey hooey.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
coming from him, that just feels like a statement to get the company sold and have the case go through, right? I mean,
mhm.
you never know with that guy. I mean,
I mean,
he's a snake, but like you can't deny he's a good businessman. I think if you separate, it's like separating the art from the artist type thing, right? Where like
mhm.
he's made a lot of and like good quote unquote business decisions for Activision. Uh, but man, the things that guy seems to have done allegedly, the people.
Yeah,
So,
it's I of course it's going to be more of a pick and choose kind of thing with Microsoft and Nintendo and games being on their next platform. Um,
yeah,
I I still feel like we won't see a lot of support of games for from 'em. I mean, at the reason why they would do Crash and Spiral is because of that sting mentality stereotype that Nintendo's for kids and stuff. So they want to continue that image and not put anything else beyond there. Like we're not gonna see Diablo 4 or I mean we lucky got to see Overwatch 2, but I mean that's gonna be that is
I
what it is. I
I mean, I would
I
here's my argument for Diablo 4 though. I mean, again, Overwatch is always online, but I feel like but Overwatch is such a different game than
mhm,
Diablo. Diablo 4 you have to be online all the time. Doesn't matter if you're playing by yourself, like it's an always online game, right?
yeah.
We all know about Nintendo's online infrastructure. It's not great. Definitely not great. Um I would argue if their console next gen has better online capability that we would probably get Diablo on Switch at some point or on the next console at some point. Um like at the beginning of 8 like, they have season passes and stuff. I think you would
Mhm.
see it. I think you would see it at a seasonal break. Like when the next season starts, that's when it would come out or something. But also like Nintendo really loves to control the message, right?
Yeah.
Even on third party games, they love to make a big deal about third party games releasing on Switch, like it hasn't
Mhm.
already been out on other consoles for 5 years. So
Yeah. I I think it's still going to feel like yes. Speaking of Call of Duty being on Switch and them wanting to feel part of the community, um, depending on what their next console offers and everything, I think they're going to just be like, well, we want to make sure that the single player and the multiplayer runs well. And Microsoft could get that really to run well and everything. And I think they would give those developers time to do it. Now, would the games be annual? We don't know, or anything. So we'll see have to see how that goes. But I believe in Microsoft supporting Nintendo with some Activision titles. Um, because if once again they become a of their next console becomes successful and continues to make Nintendo be a successful company, regardless of Microsoft, you know, fails in some areas or don't sell enough in this area, if money checks from Nintendo sales are coming in and helping them like reclaim, not reclaim, recruit that development cost and all of that stuff, Microsoft is going to continue to go and support it and stuff and make sure that it gets um the proper love and care, you know. And I think one of the big questions is going to be like, how do you do a 200 gigabyte game, turn it to maybe 50 or 60 some or 40 some bits, whatever Nintendo console is, if they go back, if they don't go back to CD and stick with cartridge? Like, how do they do that? Or is the Nintendo version, I mean, just going to be all digital? Like,
I
we
would.
don't know.
I mean, you're already seeing that though, right? On the Switch, we're
Mm-hmm.
like, that's the big thing with Disney Dreamlight Valley right now is like the physical edition came out today, but it's a code in a box, and people are mad. And we've seen it all over the place with these. Wolfenstein Youngblood was a code in a box. Doom Eternal wasn't even released physically unless you bought it through Scumbag Games, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I just think that's the direction that, especially if Nintendo does not have a hard drive in this thing, like, some sort of real hard drive, not a 32 gig flash memory. You can store your save games from your cartridge games here. They have to have it. I would, I would say at least a 256 gig SSD, preferably a
Mm-hmm.
512. Well, preferably a 1 terabyte, but it's Nintendo, so they're going to go, the route that will help them reach a profit quicker. So you have to have at least a, uh 256 terabyte or gigabyte SSD in there.
If I kind of feel like if Nintendo, I mean, whether they do still do memory cards or SD cards or stuff, I I kind of have a feeling that I'm like, if they want to return back to external hard drives, they can, um, and everything. But if I think if SSD, you know, so I don't know if there's like a USB SSD 1 terabyte. Like, I don't know if they make that or anything.
Yeah, I have a 2 terabyte
Um,
one sitting on my desk.
that's
They
like
make
just a USB that
Yeah.
you could just plug in.
Yeah, they make well, the hard drive that I have, I think they make up to 8 or 16 terabyte drives, but they're real obviously the higher you go, the more expensive it is. Uh
Mm.
but,
But that format is
Mhm.
available.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so if if Nintendo gives that offer for their system to be like where you don't have to install it, that you could get a USB and plug it in. Like, and definitely Nintendo be like, yeah, we teamed up with Micro SD or whoever. Um, here's a Smash Brother 1 terabyte USB for,
Well,
let's say, 119
they kind of already
or
do
something
that
like that.
with SanDisk though. Like they have the Animal Crossing and the Mario ones and the
Well, yeah,
Zelda 1
yeah,
terabyte that came out. Like,
yeah, but if they do it for like SSD, that's why I said like teaming up to do stuff like that, where it's just a USB and they could just plug it in and
mhm.
stuff, where you don't have to install. I would go for that route too. Like, yeah, and if you want to go up, if they said go up to 8 terabyte, you know, that you can do a USB and plug it in, people gonna buy the 8 terabyte. They're gonna be like, if I'm gonna get all of these games and I need all the space, definitely if I'm gonna be playing a lot of Call of Duty and stuff, I'm gonna need a bigger hard drive. And so I'll spend, I'm just gonna say just an estimated $300 for 8 terabyte. If Nintendo's doing it. Who knows? And if they're gonna be having Call of Duty just like literally digital on Switch and everything, cool. Do it that way and stuff. Um Now, how that's gonna be if of their next console is portable, still on the go. That's going to be the question on how it does when it's on when it's on the go and everything.
Mhm. And
So
8 terabyte external SSD on Amazon costs $499.99.
499. Okay. I just do it like a
I know,
300
I
just
know.
for
I was just
uh
informing the people out there.
and I think people will spend, or they'll get some deals and they'll spend that much. I think if Nintendo was smart and they was making making like video game ones and stuff, I would just go with a 2 terabyte.
Mhm,
Do a 2 terabyte, and let people choose. I think that would be cool when their next console get released, and they'd be like, okay, here are 8 games, uh, choices of SSD cards that you guys could get. People will snatch them up and everything.
mhm.
And if it's just a plug-in, be like, "Doop, okay, we recognize it.
The the
Where
problem
you want your games to go?"
the problem with
Oh, go ahead.
the one that you plug in though is like if this thing's going to be portable also, like you're going to want to I feel like Nintendo's going to want to have that inside. Uh but it would be interesting to have an external drive where you can play your, digital games on. That would be
Hmm.
I mean, that would be a step that you would have to like obviously like really manage your hard drives and stuff, but wouldn't put it past that they would do that now, especially if the dock has processing power in it. If it's going to involve, you know, NVIDIA's like ray tracing and ray reconstruction stuff, like those
We'll
games
get
are
to
gonna.
that story, everybody.
Yeah, we're going to. But there's this is going to be shocker, but this is going to be the most technologically advanced Nintendo console that's ever been out there. And,
Hmm.
and I'm not just talking about parts in the console. I'm talking about the things that you're going to be able to see and do with this machine outside of just playing games like the Switch. I think the Switch is a great first step for what they are planning for the future of Nintendo games and consoles.
Yeah.
Portability, plugging into the TV. But I mean, the fact that I mean, yes, they partnered with Nvidia for the Switch, but the fact that they're partnering with them with their, supposedly with their DLSS and their, you know, uh, upscaling
Just
technology.
all alleged, everybody. So
That's what I
not
said.
confirmed.
I said allegedly. uh, and just the things that NVIDIA's is able to do with their technology. The way they use artificial intelligence to, you know, scale up to 4K when you're not running at 4K, or, you know, like I said, the ray tracing and the ray reconstruction is such a big deal, and the fact that their artificial intelligence technology can boost a game from 30 to 60 frames a second just by
Hmm.
knowing how to process the game
But
is incredible.
and to think about because to think about it, so kind of we're kind of combining both stories. Um,
Yeah, well,
because
I guess
you,
we should just transition into the rumor mill then. Uh, yeah, which is, it's all about this. We're talking a little bit about the Switch 2 or the next gen console, right? Where uh Insider Gaming has you know, reported from viable sources that the next console will have ray tracing, uh which, if you don't know what ray tracing is, your PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X consoles can do it. It's just a form of like real-time lighting. Um, Xbox One X did it a little bit with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, where, like, when you see God rays coming through the trees, or real-time reflections and puddles and windows and mirrors. Spider-Man 2, the screenshots I've seen actually does an amazing job of it, no pun intended, where like, the real-time reflection off the windows when you're climbing the buildings is incredible. Uh, and then the ray reconstruction technology that they're using kind of like, if the lighting system doesn't know that this area, like, this sun ray is supposed to go through these tree branches right here, and it doesn't pick up on that, this reconstruction will make it not only happen, but make it look better. Um, and that technology is really incredible for people who are into lighting. I don't
Mm,
personally, I don't really care about ray tracing. If it's not in a game, I'm not like, you know,
I
oh,
don't
where
even
is it?
look for it.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, just the things that are being reported are just awesome.
So the thing about it is that in a sense, this is trying to, cater to third party. I'm gonna put it as that because if Nintendo use it in a way that's not gonna hurt the game and or hurt the system and everything, the moment that Nintendo touches it, people are going to be wondering. Journalists, other companies, they're going to be wondering, how did you guys do this with this technology that we can't do? We thought we knew it all, but somehow you guys one upped us. So how did you do it? Digital Foundry is going to have a field day, or a lot of tech places are probably going to have a field day because, like, to see the Zelda team using ray tracing, to see Retro or Mercury's theme for, or
Man,
even Miyamoto,
a 2D
like,
Metroid game with real-time ray tracing
insane,
would be really good.
literally insane. Like the Pikmin team, like Miyamoto, like really going in there and everything. And everybody know, I love Miyamoto and everything. I don't think he's interested in this stuff, like this technical stuff and everything.
Oh, there's
Yes,
no way.
he wants the game to look good, but he's going to be focusing more on problem solving, controls, level design. He's going to be into the intricacies that actually make the game and not so much the technical stuff. But yet he trusts the young team members and directors there to take a vision, bring it to the forefront, and not make it about tech specs, but make it about the game itself.
Yeah.
And like, Splatoon with ray tracing, um Mario Kart, Smash, or even if they bring in new IPs and stuff, how is it going to look with the aesthetics and uh and graphic choices that they use? Like, do we need ray tracing um in the next Fire Emblem if it still have that cell shaded look? Now, Kirby, yeah, I would like to see ray tracing. Like, what if they bring out the yarn series back, or style look, or even the clay mesh stuff? Like, it's going to be interesting to see what Nintendo does with it. And if they don't use it, that's their choice. They don't have to use it and everything. But I think once they do start using it, other developers and publishers are going to be like, what did you guys do and everything? And once again, like I said, if Nintendo's giving these third party developers the bells and whistles, we should be seeing some games on that system.
Hmm.
We should not be getting games late on their console.
Well, we're still
If we
going to
get if
spoilers.
I know. But so my thing is, if we're going to do the bells and whistles, the only one that I can see that could be on time with the game or really create something different and new is going to be Square Enix.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
and
here's the thing, Octopath Traveler, like whatever, or like, whatever that art style is or whatever, is
mhm.
going to it's gonna have a really great, um, you know, uh, great. It's gonna have a great time with ray tracing. And I want to shout out the best examples of ray tracing. You can look these up on, on YouTube or whatever. The Minecraft, like ray traced Minecraft and
Hmm.
ray traced Quake, like the original Quake. Just look those
Yeah.
up and you will see, and a lot of people do a great job of side by side comparisons and, kind of, r- explaining what ray tracing is better than I just did. Right. But like, watch those and you'll understand ray tracing so much better.
And once again, and I know we can move on from this. I don't want Nintendo to be using ray tracing as like it's a marketing tool and it don't get utilized.
I actually think Nintendo's probably the least likely to use the ray tracing stuff. I mean, they probably will, right? But like,
Hmm.
I don't know if something like Mario, like, I don't know if that would really benefit Mario a whole lot. I think it would benefit their 2D games better. Like I said earlier, like 2D Metroid, or you know, maybe like even if they decided to do something like F-Zero or something, or like another 2D Donkey Kong would be awesome to see, just because like of all, it takes place in most of it takes place in a jungle most of the time, theoretically, and like seeing the ray tracing coming through the trees, and I don't know, man. I think that would be really neat.
If anyone outside the Zelda team, Monolith Soft would be the one that I would look at to be like,
Yeah,
what are you guys going to do? I, whether it's a
especially
new IP. Oh,
especially
go ahead,
like
Corey.
like especially like if you put Xenoblade Chronicles X on the next console, and you like, the big cities, that's like in the center of the
Mm-hmm.
world, and like like once you unlock the mechs and seeing like outside of the glass, right? Like, oh, and the metal, like
The,
the reflections off of the metal of the mechs would be, oh man, so good.
the lushness of that world
Hmm.
with ray tracing, with all the lighting and stuff, and because Xenoblade Chronicles X looks great on Wii U. Xeno Monolith Soft going into like put in detail work for a re-release of Xenoblade Chronicles X to get an idea. Oh heck yeah!
Yeah.
Because then it's gonna be like, okay, they really went in and polished a lot of stuff out up.
Hmm.
Is this gonna lead to what we can expect for a next Zelda game? Possibly could.
I don't know if Zelda would, honestly, like, Zelda is the one franchise that I don't know if it would like really benefit. I mean, maybe it
Hmm.
could, I guess, if you're like running around the open world or going through the forest or some of the dungeons, like especially like a fire, like whatever the next fire dungeon is, might look pretty incredible. Water, I get, yeah. Well, I take back everything I just said. I think Zelda might benefit from it. Never mind. Pass.
So, I mean, that's all I gotta say.
What's going on over there, Ed? I feel
Nothing
like
much.
someone's like breaking your house or your street or something.
Oh, it's the traffic just going by.
Okay. Okay. Are you alive? Are you okay?
I'm alive.
Blink twice if you need
Yes.
help.
If I ever need help and I had to give you a code, I'd be like, I love Grand Theft Auto 5. That's when you know trouble is happening.
Yikes. Anyways.
So,
All right, Ed. It's time for Pack Watch. And I forgot to fill in that section of the doc. So this one is going to be we'll say quick, uh, maybe descriptionless. Yeah. So the week of, sorry guys, it's been a long week and I've just prepared this, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No excuse. I failed. The week of the 21st, right? Yes.
mhm.
So coming out on the 24th is Just Dance 2024. I'm sure you're excited, Ed. Um, the yearly dancing game. We'll see. Also coming on October 24th is the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. Uh, I hope people enjoy that if they purchase it. I'm kind of shocked we didn't get the Twin Snakes version, but also something tells me Konami is just going to be put out Twin Snakes HD at some
Yeah.
point, because you know my theory with GameCube games, they're all just going to get remastered. Probably for Switch, and they're going to be in the next console is going to be backwards compatible. Uh, I'm telling you, man, that's what's happening. We're seeing it. We're seeing it. All right, so other than blah, 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 Dave the Diver is coming to Switch on October 26th, which you should watch a trailer or something on Steam or on YouTube. People were obsessed with this game over the summer on Steam, and it's coming to all well, no, it's just coming to Switch. Interesting. I thought it was coming to everything.
Yeah, it's time exclusive for console for
Yeah.
Switch. So it's gonna hit Switch and then it'll later hit Xbox and PlayStation.
Okay.
Um
And last but not least, Ed, the final game coming out on the 26th for Switch this week is World of Horror, which is this looks like an Ed game actually. It's like it's all black and white and kind of like Game Boy Pocket-esque graphics.
mhm.
Uh, so I don't know. It seems like something for you, Ed. But that's actually all that's coming to Switch this week. Because we're preparing for a massive November. It looks like, dude, that first week
Yeah.
of November looks mighty scary. You have Alien Hominid Invasion, which is they're including the first game in HD with that too. So
And they
uh,
including the sequel.
yeah, Song of Nunu, a League of Legends story is coming, which all those games look pretty good on Switch. Like I love the art style
Yeah.
of those games. I don't know anything about League of Legends at all, but I really like the art style of the games they've been putting out. Are they good? I have no idea. RoboCop, although there are rumors that the Switch version kind of got canceled, but we don't know for sure yet. Star Ocean is coming out on November 2nd. The Smurfs 2 Prisoner of the Greenstone is coming out. Air 5 for that. Thirsty Suitors is coming out. WarioWare Shake It or Move It is coming out on November 3rd.
That's
Nickelodeon
gonna
All
be a
Stars
big one.
Brawl 2. Uh,
That one got delayed, right? Was that the new update?
oh, did it? I didn't see that. It
Yeah.
says
Yeah.
November 7th on here on Game Informer. So,
Then it if that's if you did it online, I think if that's a game informer one that's online, I think
yeah.
they probably did put in a new date. I know it got like moved like a week or something.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, neat. Hogwarts Legacy on the 14th. Turok 3 remastered. Last Faith. Flashback 2. November's pretty packed for Switch. Biomutants coming out. Mario RPG. Persona 5 Tactica. Naruto X Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. Jeez, these anime games, man, they need to calm down. And then December, man, the Arkham trilogy, SteamWorld Build, which looks kind of cool. Skater XL coming to Switch
mhm.
for some reason. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song finally coming to Switch. I mean, that's it. That's the year. That's the rest of the year for
Mhm.
major releases for Switch. So, I mean, again, there's probably going to be some sort of indie thing, and the Game Awards going
Yeah,
to have
that's
announcements. Like,
yeah, that's kind of weird that we haven't had a Nindy direct
yeah. We also don't
recently.
know if, I mean, we know, but we don't really know if, like, Mina the Hollower from Yacht Club is supposedly coming out this year. That game's,
Yeah.
I bet that game gets delayed. I don't want to say that,
Yeah,
but I
it
bet it
won't be out.
does.
I think that won't be I think that and Hollow Knight 2 won't be out till next year.
Yeah. I
I
don't care
think.
about Hollow Knight. I think that game's overrated.
I need to play. It's got it on my PlayStation.
I
Just
just I, I don't
need
know.
to play it.
I feel like nobody was talking about that game for like 6 months. Like nobody was talking about the game until like 6 months after it came out, and then some influencer probably liked it, and now everybody loves it. So
But it was the game that everybody was looking forward to on Switch, and then when it finally came out during that E3, like surprisingly, um, that's when a lot of people started getting into it and stuff. That's kind of the same way that happened with Hades. I think it's that same year that Hades dropped on Switch unexpectedly. Because it was just an early access game on Epic, and bam, it caught Hades caught wildfire to it won game of the I believe it won game of the year in a lot of places and stuff. Um,
yeah,
so
yep.
hey,
Well, that was it. We do have questions though, Ed, in the Discord.
oh,
Uh,
all right.
we have we have one question in the Discord. Uh, also asked for questions late. Also my fault. Dude, this week was so busy. Like, uh, MH Norris writes in, with Super Mario Brothers Wonder releasing on the same day as Spider-Man 2, do you think that will negatively affect sales, or do you think their audiences are varied enough that both will succeed in their first week?
Both of them will succeed in their first week because a lot of people are buying both games. In
Mhm,
fact, it once again, it's the pictures that people are posting on social media. They are showing that they got Spider Man, they got Wonder, like they got, or even they got all three with some, like included with Sonic. And for people who just like posting that they happy about Spider Man and not picking up Wonder, that doesn't hinder
mhm,
anything about Wonder. David, our editor in chief, David, he posted two copies. I talked about I brought two copies, and so people have been like buying multiple copies of Wonder and everything. And with Spider Man, that just that was just icing on the cake. It wasn't really so much a battle of who's going to outsell who.
mhm.
Um, it was just that people were just like, man, that is a big day for gaming.
Mm.
Or today's a big day for gaming at the time of this recording. So I don't think it's going to hinder anything. I think both of them are going to sell very well. Um, it I don't know how um the Japanese market is going to play effect into it because normally we haven't really like seen American sales, but we'll probably be looking to see how Spider-Man does and how Wonder does in Japan or in even Europe and stuff. Europe probably is going to have big for Spider-Man because Europe has now become like a big PlayStation community. A big business for PlayStation.
Mhm.
Um, but I think Nintendo would still probably do well in the UK and everything.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think it's going to affect games coming out around it. Like, I think Sonic sales probably were hurt because of Mario and Spider-Man. I mean, am I 100% on that? No. Because I know Sonic is really big, especially with like, the movie and the TV shows. Like my nephews are like obsessed with Sonic. So I would say that, but I would also say like, the games coming out after, like, Alan Wake comes out next week, and
Hmm.
hardcore people are gonna buy it, but are like the casual people who just kind of play games once in a while gonna go get Alan Wake? No. I don't think the greater public even knows what Alan Wake is. It's just like the gaming community who's hardcore about all this stuff, right? And um, Mario, like it or not, is a casual gamer's game. You know, Spider
Hmm.
Man, everybody knows who Spider Man is, right?
Right.
And people are going to buy Spider Man for their kids. Young adults are going to buy it. People who grew up reading the comics are going to buy it. especially with the popularity of the MCU and uh, I think Spider Verse has a lot to do with it, and
The trust that people have in Insomniac with Spider-Man from the
yeah,
first game. So it's and that's not to uh say that Sony is better or anything like that. Some fanboys would say stuff like that. But people know that Insomniac makes well polished games.
mhm,
And so they deserve to be recognized on on this front that Spider-Man 2 is gonna do really well and everything, and people are gonna buy it because they trust Insomniac
mhm,
with the development with this franchise being in their hands.
yeah. So I think they're both going to do really well. At least I hope they do. Um,
Yeah. And no knock to Sonic, because my thing is Sonic still has a big community.
yeah, but I feel like Sonic's community is like outside of games, just based on what my nephews were saying. Like I
Hmm.
told you, my youngest nephew didn't even know Sonic was a video game. He reads the books from school. He has seen both the movies. Netflix has Sonic Prime on right now. Like games are like fourth or fifth on why Sonic's popular these days. Uh, at least for kids. So
Hmm.
um, I think Sonic Superstars is going to take a little bit of a hit. Just because also like the reputation with Sonic games is not amazing, like Spider-Man and Mario have been in the last decade or so. So I
But
think,
the last Sonic game that came out, the Sonic team was happy with the sales. So I think they'll probably be happy with the sales numbers for this one.
yeah,
And you know, uh yeah, and I see what you're saying that they're going to probably take a hit, but it's once again I feel like Sonic is a companion to Spider-Man and Wonder. Um,
yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I think the good thing about all three of these games that Sonic, Mario, and Spider-Man is that they're going to have legs for a long time, right? I mean, people are going to buy these games 2 years from now, you know. So you know,
yeah.
yeah, people are going to buy these games like 2 years from now. Sorry, you froze for a second. Maybe I froze. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know anything
yeah.
anymore. Uh, I think the games coming out after it are going to suffer at this point. Is my opinion, especially stuff like I said, Alan Wake. What else did I see on this thing? Um,
So I think more Alan Wake 2 probably will suffer.
mhm.
Uh, Metal Gear is up in the air.
I mean, Metal Gear is a legacy thing, right? So
Yeah,
that game was gonna sell for a while, especially like, and they'll see big, you know, peaks when new Metal Gear games come out, or like the remake of three, or you know what I mean. I mean, I know the hardcore Metal Gear community doesn't want anything to do with any new Metal Gear games, but they're gonna make another Metal Gear game. Uh,
yeah.
what's after that? Let's see. I mean, I've been hearing good things about RoboCop, but that probably won't sell extremely well. Let me
Which I just seen the story. That the game got
Ghostbusters,
canceled on Switch.
yeah, Ghost Runner. Trying to see other games that would kind of fit within these. Man, November is kind of like I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think Alan Wake is definitely going to suffer though, for sure. Um, Not that it's not going to be a great game or anything, but I just I just have a feeling about that. What else has come out recently? Detective Pikachu. I don't know.
Another game I need to pick up and everything.
I'm just seeing if
I'm
there's
good with
anything that came out before these games, if they would suffer at all. Oh, you know what's gonna
um
kill? You know what's gonna outsell all of them? Skull Island: Rise of Kong,
good googly woogly.
just based off sheer curiosity at this point. Uh, but that's it. That's all I got, Ed.
um Hellboy.
Yeah, I don't care
Did
about
that
that.
come
It's come.
but did
It
it
came
come
out.
out?
It came out this. earlier this week, I think. Hold on. Hold
Did the
on.
reviews drop?
I'll find it. I have no idea. I feel like I just talked about this last week, 2 weeks ago.
Last week it got delayed. The reviews were supposed to drop, but
Mm,
they delayed the game, so the embargo got delayed, so they couldn't. No one can say anything about it.
yeah, I don't know when it's coming out. I could care less about that game though, to be honest with you.
Okay,
Uh, yeah, I don't know.
so
Hope people don't get mad at me for saying that, but I don't
I,
care.
I, let me tell you, I don't think a lot of people even remember that game was coming out. Like I forgot about it after E3. I'm like, oh wait, what?
Yeah.
So
You know what game actually looks kind of interesting though to me is that Avatar game looks really like visually looks really good.
it does not look good to me at all
Visually?
visually. Sorry, Ubisoft. That
Are you blind? I didn't say
it
the
looked
game was
like a
going to be good.
PS.
I said
It looks like a PS4 Pro slash Xbox One X
you're the worst.
kind of game,
Get me
but
out of here.
it,
I can't listen to
uh,
this garbage anymore. Get me out of here.
well, everybody, um, Corey, any final thoughts? Uh,
No, because you'll just yell at me
anything?
again.
No, I'm not gonna yell at you.
I'm excited for the Star Wars game that Ubisoft is making that I always forget the name of, but
Yes,
looks awesome.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Yes, I always want to say Star Wars Warzone for some reason, but it's not. And even
It's
now, since you said the name, I already forgot what it was called again.
Outlaws.
Oh man, my brain just doesn't work, man. Outlaws. Yes, dude, that game looks
And that's
incredible.
another. That's another game. Gotta give it to Ubisoft. I think I have a feeling they have a chance to turn a lot of things around. Because Outlaws look good. That Prince of Persia game still looks
Oh, man.
phenomenal.
Yeah, man, that Prince of Persia game looks awesome.
Just so good. So I think they have a chance to turn a lot of things around. Um, so I'm with you on that. Um, Final thoughts for me. Everybody. As we get closer to um game of the year and everything, uh, let's be civilized to one another. Um, and let's I think once again just remind yourself, like, be positive on the people's posts. Celebrate with them if they're playing a game for the first time, or they're replaying something. Just like um be a little bit more supportive or in everything. And even if it's a game that you are not familiar with or you didn't like it stuff, just be like, I can't wait to hear your thoughts or something. And everything. Uh yeah, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Cause yeah, I was talking to one of the guys at Beyond, WASD and Beyond. I think I was talking to Nick. Shout out to them. Um,
We gotta get Nick on
and
something. I think
I kind
about
of,
Nick a lot, like, not in a weird way, but, like, I think about them a lot. I'm like, "Man, I just need to reach out and get them on something because like, never like, we always like, once in a while, we'll talk, and then we'll have, like, these really interesting conversations, and then we don't talk to each other for, like, 6 months, and then, we'll reconnect and be like, "Yeah, we need to do something together," and we never put it together, and I think maybe that's my
right.
fault for just not, like, keeping up, but,
Yeah,
anyways, continue.
shout out to them. They're doing like 31 days or some 30, or they're doing like horror recaps
Mhm.
and the things like 30, I think 30 minutes and stuff. So you can check them out on iTunes and or the other podcast apps. So shout out to Nick and Evan, and shout out to Brody also, Brody and Jeff. Um and all of them at Spawn Camp. Uh
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
I hope Diggity comes back soon.
Yes. Um, but
We
with
gotta
that,
get. We
everybody
got.
have.
Sorry, I gotta say one thing. We gotta get Brody on something too, man. Gosh, I miss all
Yes,
these
I
guys.
miss him.
I
I know
miss
he's been
everybody.
doing school. But I just like, when are you free? I want to get him. I want to get him here on Pow Block
Yeah,
and
school's for
everything, so
fools,
I could.
Brody. Be on podcasts. It's better.
I'm gonna reach out to him and be like,
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, or if we get some free time, would you like to join us for Power Block?
yeah.
Because I miss Brody and everything, and I
I
don't get to
miss.
talk to him.
I miss everyone. Shout out to Secret Friends too. While we're shouting people out,
Yes, shout out to them. Uh,
co-op mode hit episode 125 this week. Congratulations, guys.
yes,
I mean,
shout out to them.
that's not like a real milestone number, like episode 100 or 200 or the nice round numbers, but 125, big deal, big deal. Go listen to
Yeah,
co-op mode.
yes. Um, so, uh, what is Wes podcast? Um,
The console gaming crew.
yes,
Their new
shout out to them too.
their new season's out too.
Yes, shout out to them. Uh,
Anybody else? Lore together.
Daniel. Daniel is doing his his playthroughs and stuff. So shout out to him. But with that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Goodbye. Listen to our friends. If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushMedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.